Wow, 30,000 subscribers. Like, I honestly can't believe it. When I started this channel, I had no idea I would go this far. You know, sometimes when I'm about to record the stories, I'm like, are these people not tired of my stories? Are they even going to watch? But you always watch, and you comment, you like. Every comment, every like, every view. Babes, I appreciate all the support. Thank you for sticking with me. I love you. And welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Vera, but you can call me V. And I share real life stories that will shock you, break your heart, inspire you, and sometimes make you laugh. And so if this is something you love, please subscribe and like this video. And don't forget to turn on the notifications so that when I post, you'll be notified immediately. Today's shout out goes to Laura Lamte S5C, Pretty Abina 29, and Dorcas Ade 8965. They were the first people to comment on my last video. Thank you so much for the support, babes. I love you. And now, without any further delay, let's continue the story. My life has been turned upside down for something I did not do. A few months ago, I went to a funeral to pay my respects. The man who died was the husband of my best friend's sister. Let's call the sister Elsie. As soon as I entered the funeral grounds, Elsie saw me. Her eyes were red from crying. But when she saw me, they became full of anger. She walked straight to me, and before I could even say a word, she slapped me across my face. The sound was so loud, everyone turned to look. "Get out of here, you cheap girl, you home wrecker, you user," she shouted for everyone to hear. "You slept with my husband while you were living in my house, eating my food." I was so shocked. I could not talk. My cheek was burning. Tears filled my eyes. "Elsie, please, it is not true. I am innocent." I tried to explain, my voice shaking. But she did not listen. She pushed me, forcing me to walk away from the crowd. She was crying and cursing me and my entire family. She said I will never prosper in life. Everyone was just staring at me. I looked around, hoping to see one friendly face. Then I saw her, Miriam, my best friend since we were small children, the one person I thought would always believe me. She walked up to us. My heart jumped a little, thinking she was coming to help me, to tell her sister to stop. But instead, she looked at me with so much pain and disappointment on her face. "Just leave," she said to me, her voice cold. "You have done enough. Please, just go." It was like she had stabbed me in my chest. Miriam, of all people, she knew me. She knew I could never do such a thing. But she too believed the lie. Elsie gave me one last push, and I stumbled out of the funeral grounds. I could feel the eyes of everyone there on my back. I heard their whispers. I heard them calling me a shallow and ingrate behind my back. I walked away, my head down, tears streaming down my face. How do I prove my innocence when my own best friend, the one who knows my heart, has judged me and found me guilty? To understand how I reached that shameful day at the funeral, you need to know where my life was before all of this. Last year, my life was a mess. I had no place to call my own. My mother's house was the last place I wanted to go, but it was the only place I had. Life with my mom was very difficult. Every single day, it was one argument after another. Nothing I did was ever good enough for her. If I cooked, the food was not good. If I cleaned, the house was not clean enough. She always called me good for nothing. She said I was a failure and would never amount to anything in life. I felt so small and useless in that house. So when I met Henry, it felt like God had finally answered my prayers. He was handsome, and he said all the sweet words I needed to hear. He made me feel seen and important. When he asked me to move in with him, I did not think twice. I saw it as my chance to escape, my chance to finally be happy and have peace. The day I was packing my things to leave, my mother stood at the door. She was not crying. She was just angry. She looked me straight in the eye and said, "This man will use you and dump you like trash. You will see. If you step out of this house to go and live with him, don't you ever come back here. This door is close to you." Her words hurt me, but I was too much in love to listen. I thought she was just being her usual negative self. I truly believed with all my heart that Henry was the one sent to save me. He was my escape from all the sadness. And for the first few months, things were so great. Oh, the happiness I felt. I thought my suffering was finally over. I had a man who loved me and a peaceful home. I thought I had found my happy ending. Little did I know that this happiness was only temporary and that my mother's painful words would soon come true. Life with Henry was sweet in the beginning, so I started to dream big. I saw many young people on social media making it big. You know, like those content creators on TikTok and Instagram. They were dancing, doing skits, and getting brand deals. I thought I could do it too. I wanted to be somebody. I told Henry about my plan, and he supported me fully. He was my biggest fan. He would help me film the videos. Sometimes he would even join me. He told me I was beautiful and funny, and that I would surely blow up. During that time, he was not just my boyfriend. He was my buddy, my best friend, my everything. I believed he was my soulmate. We had so many plans for the future together. But everything changed a few months later. I started noticing small things. He was always on his phone, hiding the screen from me. He would come home very late and give excuses about work. My heart was telling me something was wrong. Then one day, I saw it with my own eyes. I saw his chat with another woman. The messages were not something a taken man should be sending. He was cheating on me. When I confronted him, I expected him to beg for forgiveness. Instead, he got very angry. He turned the whole thing and blamed me. He said I was too insecure. He said I was nagging him too much. He shouted that my constant worries were pushing him away. He said his cheating was my own fault. I was shocked. Instead of saying sorry, he broke up with me right there. He told me I had to move out of his house, just like that. My world crashed. I had no money. My social media account had a few followers, but they had not taken off yet. I had stopped looking for a proper job because I was so sure my big break was coming. Now I had nothing. No man, no money, no home. I was broke, heartbroken, and completely aimless. I had nowhere to go. My mother's warning was ringing in my ears. I couldn't go back to her house. I was too ashamed. And I knew she would just say, "I told you so." In that moment of complete darkness with tears in my eyes, I picked up my phone. The only person I could think of was Miriam, my oldest friend, my ride or die. I called her, crying so hard I could barely speak. I had nowhere else to turn. Miriam has been my friend since we were small children. We met in nursery school, can you imagine? We were those two little girls who were always together. Even after we finished junior high school and went to different schools, we never lost touch. She's my oldest friend, my true ride or die. She had been there for me in ways that even my family has not. When things were hard and I had no money for transport or food, Miriam was the one I would call. She would borrow me small money. To be honest, most of the time, it would take me many months to pay her back. But she never minded. She never harassed me for it. Sometimes, when she knew I was really struggling, she would even tell me to just keep the money. She was just a good-hearted person like that. So, with my heart shattered into pieces from Henry, she was the first person I thought of. I called her, and I was crying so much I could hardly talk. "Miriam, I have nowhere to go." I cried into the phone. I told her everything Henry did. My mother had warned me never to come back. And honestly, my pride would not let me go back to hear her say I told you so. I begged her, "Please, let me come and stay with you for just some time. I promise I will find a job immediately. I will work hard. I just need a few months to get myself together. Please." That was when she explained her situation to me. She told me she was also not living alone. She was staying with her older sister and her sister's husband. I knew her sister very well. Elsie was our senior in junior high school. She was always very strict and serious. She never really played with us younger ones. I always felt like she didn't like me much. She married a man who works in tech. So they were living in a big fine house in a nice area. When I heard this, my heart sank. I was so scared. I was sure a woman like Elsie would never agree to let someone like me, a struggling good for nothing, come and live in a beautiful home. Please, Miriam, I begged again. Please beg her for me. I will stay out of their way. I will help with all the cooking and cleaning. They will not even know I am in the house. I will be like a ghost. Please, just ask her. Miriam listened to my desperate pleas. She's a kind person, so she agreed. Okay, she said. I will try my best to talk to her. Let me see what I can do. I put down the phone and my whole body was trembling. I started praying like I had never prayed before. I prayed to God to touch Elsie's heart. I waited for Miriam's call, hoping for a miracle. The wait for Miriam's call felt like years. My phone was in my hand, and every time it vibrated, my heart would jump. Finally, it rang. It was her. I picked up so fast. Hello, Miriam, I said, my voice shaky. She has agreed, Miriam said. I could hear she was also relieved. But it is only for a couple of months, so she is stressing that it is just for a short time. Before I could even say thank you, another voice came on the phone. It was stern and sharp. It was Elsie herself. Listen to me and listen well, she said. I don't want any nonsense in my home. I am doing this for my sister, not for you. You will come here and you will respect yourself. Do you hear me? No trouble. If you bring any drama here, I will throw you out myself. I was so nervous. I was just saying, yes, Auntie Elsie. Thank you, Auntie Elsie. I understand. I didn't care about a harsh tone. I was just so grateful to have a place to go. And that is how I went to live with them. I packed the few things I had left and went to their big house. It was beautiful and clean. I didn't want to do anything wrong. I moved into Miriam's room. We shared a bed just like when we were children. True to my word, I minded my business. In the mornings, I would wake up early and help sweep the compound and clean the living area before anyone woke up. I helped with the cooking and washing of dishes. I was like a mouse, quiet and staying in the corners. Every day, I would take my phone and go out to look for a job. I was ready to work hard. I was just happy to be safe and have a roof over my head. I thought things would get better. I would mind my business, find a job, and hopefully find a better place to stay. But then her husband, Mike, entered into the equation. We started talking, and I foolishly believed this bond was a safe and innocent thing. But that simple friendship turned my whole life into a nightmare. In that house, my main mission was to be invisible, especially to Elsie. I would greet her politely in the morning and then stay out of her way. It was during that time that I met another person who was always in the house. Her name was Dinah. Dinah was Elsie's friend from work. They were super close, like sisters. She was at the house almost every weekend. From the conversations I heard, it was Dinah who introduced Elsie to her husband. So she knew him very well too. Their friendship was so strong that Elsie's husband treated Dinah like a younger sister. They were all one big happy family. Now, I don't even know how it started, but slowly, I began to become close to Mike. It wasn't something I planned at all. It just happened. Maybe it was because I was always in the house and he was often working from home. Or maybe it was because Miriam was at work all day and Elsie was also very busy. I was the one usually in the living room watching TV or scrolling through my phone for job alerts. He would come out of his office to get water or something, and we would just start talking. Small talk at first. How is the job search? How are you settling in? He was always kind and had a calm way of speaking. It felt nice to have someone in the house to talk to. Someone who didn't look at me with suspicion or pity. Without even realizing it, a friendship began to grow between us. The more we talked, the more I realized Mike and I had a lot in common. We were from the same tribe, something that surprised and delighted both of us. Living in the city, you don't always meet people from your hometown like that. We also liked watching the same TV shows. Because we were from the same tribe, we naturally started speaking our local language to each other. It was fun and felt like a little piece of home. For me, it was harmless. It was just nice to connect with someone who understood that part of my life. Miriam and Elsie were from a different tribe, so they didn't understand what we were saying. I didn't think anything was wrong with it. In my eyes, Mike was just being a big brother to me. He knew I was going through a hard time. He would encourage me, telling me, don't give up. Something good will come soon. Just keep pushing. Sometimes in the evenings, when I was watching our favorite shows in the living room, he would finish his work and come to sit with me. We would watch together and laugh. I felt like I had found a true friend and protector in that house. But I was blind. I didn't have the eyes to see that what was innocent to me was looking very different to someone else. I didn't notice the way Elsie would sometimes walk into the room and see us laughing together in a language she didn't understand. I didn't see the way a smile would disappear. I was just happy to feel welcome. Then my birthday came. I wasn't expecting anything. I had no money to celebrate. Mike knew my phone was very faulty. The screen was cracked and the battery was dying quickly. That day, he gave me a small wrapped box. Inside was a brand new nice phone. I was so shocked and happy, I almost cried. I was so excited that I ran to show everyone. Look, Mike bought me a new phone for my birthday. I showed Miriam and I even showed Elsie, thinking she would be happy for me. But when I showed Elsie, her face changed completely. She just looked at the phone, then at me, and her expression became cold like stone. She didn't say happy birthday. She didn't smile. She just turned and walked away. That was the moment everything changed. That was when I first noticed that the peace in that house was starting to crack. And I was right in the middle of it without even knowing why. After my birthday, the air in the house became thick and heavy. Elsie was always angry with me. If I said good morning, auntie, she would just give me a short and look away. Her replies were always sharp and short. She stopped eating the food I helped to cook. She would just look at it and say she wasn't hungry. At that time, my mind was still blind. I didn't connect her anger to Mike. I thought maybe I had done something else wrong. Maybe I didn't clean well enough. Maybe she was just tired of me being in her house. It was all so innocent in my head. Now, when I look back, I see how foolish I was. Maybe I should have been smarter. Maybe I should have stayed far away from Mike to keep the peace. But I didn't. My job search was not going well. The small work I was doing was not paying much at all. There were days I had no money even for transportation. Mike saw my struggle. He started giving me small money here and there. Sometimes he would just send me mobile money without me asking. It was never a big amount, but for me, it was a lifesaver. It meant I could buy credit for my new phone or get a meal when I was out. I never ever told anyone about the money, not even Miriam. I was too scared. I knew how it would look. A married man giving money to a young woman living in his house. People would definitely take it the wrong way, even though it was a kind gesture from his heart. So I kept it as my biggest secret. Then the worst thing happened. Mike died. Oh, it was a sudden terrible accident. 1 minute he was alive and well. The next minute he was gone. The news shattered the whole house. I was heartbroken. I cried myself to sleep every night. He was my friend, my helper. Maybe the others thought I was crying too much. Maybe they thought, why is she so sad? She just met him. But he meant a lot to me. He was the only one who showed me kindness without making me feel like a burden. Later did I know that my tears and my pain were about to be used as evidence against me. The worst was yet to come. One rainy afternoon, everything fell apart. We were all in the house, sitting quietly. Elsie was in her bedroom. She had managed to get Mike's phone repaired after the accident. She was going through it, probably looking at old pictures and messages to feel close to him. We could all hear her crying from the room. It was a painful sound. Then her crying stopped. There was a silence. And then we heard a loud, angry scream. It was a sound of pure pain and rage. All hell broke loose. She came running out of the room, her face twisted in anger, holding the phone. He was cheating on me, she screamed. My own husband was cheating. Mike had been cheating. She found the messages. He had been talking to a private account on TikTok for months. The messages were short, but they were clear. They were planning meetings. They were talking about where to meet and when. It was clear they were meeting to sleep together. And guess who everyone immediately thought was the other woman? Me. According to Elsie, the secret messages on TikTok started around the exact same time I moved into the house. The timing was perfect for her to connect everything. "It is you," she screamed, pointing a finger at my face. "You, this cheap girl I allowed into my home. You were the one sleeping with my husband under my roof." My whole body went cold. "No, Elsie, it is not me. I swear to God, it is not me," I pleaded. "I don't even use TikTok anymore like that. Please believe me." But she was beyond listening. Her eyes were wild with a pain I now understand. She lunged at me and snatched my phone right out of my hand. I tried to get it back, but she was too strong. She forced my thumb onto the scanner to unlock it. My heart was pounding. I knew what she would find. She went straight to my messages with Mike. There they were, the mobile money alerts, the small transfers he had sent to help me. Then she saw our chats, our conversations in our local language, the inside jokes about the TV shows we watched, the friendly, encouraging words. To me, it was proof of a harmless brotherly friendship. But to her, a woman who had just discovered her husband's infidelity, it was all the evidence she needed. "You see," she shouted, shaking the phone in my face. "Money. You were collecting money from my husband. And all these secret talks in your language so I wouldn't understand. You were a prostitute, a wicked, ungrateful snake." She threw my phone to the floor. The screen cracked. Then she started hitting me. Her face landed on my back, my arms. She was screaming and cursing me, calling me every terrible name you can imagine. Miriam was just standing there, crying, not saying a word to stop her sister. She was just looking at me, and the look in her eyes said she believed it too. In that moment, I wasn't just losing a place to stay. I was losing my name, my dignity, and my best friend, all for a crime I didn't commit. I cried and tried to explain, but it was like talking to a wall. My words meant nothing. The evidence in Elsie's eyes was right there on my phone. The money, the private jokes. No one believed me. No one. Miriam just stood there, her arms crossed, tears in her own eyes. But they were tears of anger at me. She looked at me like I was a stranger, like our 20 years of friendship meant nothing. That hurt more than Elsie's slaps. Elsie, still screaming and cursing, raced into the room I shared with Miriam. She started grabbing my things, my clothes, my few shoes, the small box where I kept my important papers. She didn't fold anything. She just threw it all into my travel bag. And when that was full, she gathered the rest into a heap. She dragged me and my belongings to the front door. It was raining outside. She opened the door, and with one final strong push, she threw my things out into the compound. My clothes and papers landed in the mud and the pouring rain. "Get out of my house, you witch!" she shouted. I was pushed out, and the door slammed shut behind me. I stood there in the rain, my clothes getting soaked, watching my few possessions being ruined in the mud. I cried like a baby. My whole body shook with the tears. I was innocent. I screamed into the rain, but there was no one to listen. I had nowhere to go. My pride was gone. My options were finished. With a heavy heart, I gathered my wet, muddy things and started a long, shameful walk back to my mother's house. When she saw me at the door, looking like a drowned, miserable rat, she didn't feel pity. She laughed. "I knew it," she said, not even asking me to come in. "I knew you would come back looking miserable. I told you that man will use you and dump you like trash." When the rumors reached there about Mike, instead of defending her own daughter, she believed them. She called me names. She said I was a shame to the family, a traitor. She said I had no respect for other people's marriages. My own mother. But hurting Miriam was still the worst. Losing her was a pain I couldn't even describe. I had lost my best friend, my sister, and my reputation all in one day. My life felt over. A few days after Elsie threw me out, Miriam called me. Her voice was raw with pain, but it was a cold, angry pain directed at me. "You are a user," she shouted, and the words felt like a slap. "You used me, and you used my sister's husband. I regret ever knowing you. I wish we never met in nursery school. Stay away from me. Never contact me or my family again." She hung up. I was destroyed. My oldest friend, my ride or die, was gone forever. In my mind, I started to suspect Dinah. It had to be her. She was so close to Mike. She was always in the house. She was the one who introduced them. Maybe she was jealous of Elsie. It made sense to me. I tried to call Miriam back to tell her, to suggest it, but she wouldn't pick up. She had blocked my number. The news spread like wildfire. Everyone who knew me and knew Miriam's family started to avoid me. I saw people posting insults on their WhatsApp statuses. They didn't use my name, but everyone knew it was about me. They called me a husband snatcher, a prostitute, a witch, a curse. Every bad name you can think of, they called me. I swear to you, at that time, I almost took my own life. The pain was too much. I had no money. If I had, I would have just taken a bus and left for another town or even another country to start over. But I was trapped. I shouldn't have gone to Mike's funeral. I know that now. But I was desperate. They had all blocked me everywhere. I thought if I could just see Elsie face to face, in a calm moment, I could explain. I could make her see the truth. But it was a terrible mistake. That was where she slapped me in front of everyone and threw me out, cursing me even more. It was a lost cause. No one would ever believe me. After that, I gave up. I cried myself to sleep every single night. I couldn't even go near that area of town anymore. I just accepted my fate. To the whole world, I was the ingrate, the homebreaker. I carried that shame with me everywhere I went. My life was over. For months, I carried this heavy shame. Then last week, everything changed again. I was at a shop close to my mother's house buying soap when I heard a voice call my name. I turned around and it was John. John was a close friend of Mike. He used to come to the house all the time to watch football with Mike. I remembered him because he always tried to talk to me, always complimenting me and asking for my number. But my heart was too broken then, so I never gave him a chance. Seeing him, I felt a small sense of happiness. It was a connection to a time when I was happy, before all the trouble. "John, wow, long time," I said. We started talking there at the shop. He asked how I was doing. I didn't know what to say. Then he said, "Let's go and eat something small. There is a good chop bar right here." I agreed. We went to a small quiet restaurant close by. We started talking about Mike, about how much we missed him. We shared small happy stories about him. And for a little while, it felt good to remember the good man he was. Then John looked at me and said, "You know, I am so interested in you. You are still as beautiful as ever." He started flirting again. I smiled a small smile, but my mind was racing. John was very, very close to Mike. They told each other everything. What if John knew about the other woman? My heart started beating fast. I looked at him and just asked straight, "John, do you know who Mike was cheating on Elsie with?" Immediately, he started laughing. "Ah, that one. That is in the past now. The man is gone. Why should we tarnish his image?" But I knew then that he knew something. I leaned forward, my voice serious. "John, I am not joking. I need to know. Everyone thinks it was me. Elsie, Miriam, everyone. They destroyed my life because of it. Please, if you know, tell me." I started telling him the whole story about the slap, the curses, being thrown out, my mother's rejection, Miriam's hatred. By the time I finished, tears were streaming down my face. I didn't even care who saw me crying in the restaurant. John stopped smiling. He became quiet for a long moment, just looking at me. Then he said 4 words that changed everything. "I know it is not you." "Then who?" I asked him. My voice was desperate. John, please, I will go out with you. I will do anything. Just tell me who it is. Just help me clear my name. He looked at me, seeing the real pain in my eyes. You won't believe it, he said, shaking his head. Just hold on. He took his phone from his pocket. He started pressing and scrolling, his face serious. My heart was pounding. What was he doing? After about a minute, he put the phone on the table between us. Suddenly, the sound of sexual mooning filled the air. People at the next table turned to look at us, their faces shocked. John, what are you doing? I hissed, my face turning red with embarrassment. Just watch, he said, pointing at the screen. I picked up the phone. What I saw made my whole body go numb. I almost dropped the phone right there on the floor. It was a video, a sex video. It was Mike and the woman he was cheating with. She had let him record her while they were doing the do. I could see everything clearly. I couldn't believe my eyes. My brain refused to accept it. The woman in the video was Miriam. My Miriam. My ride or die. My best friend since nursery school. The one who had called me a user and regretted ever knowing me. She was the one. She was the one who had been sleeping with her own sister's husband. And she had stood there and watched as her sister accused me, cursed me, and destroyed my life. She knew the whole time that she was the guilty one. I felt like the whole world had just turned upside down. How? That was the only word in my head. How could it be Miriam? Miriam and her sister's husband. The same Miriam who looked me in the eye and called me a traitor. She was the one sleeping with Mike. And how? How could she let him record her? My mind was spinning. Nothing made sense. But it was her, clear as day in the flesh. I finally found my voice. John, how did you get this video? John shifted in his seat, looking a little uncomfortable. Mike and we shared everything. We were like brothers. Miriam had been flirting with him for months, sending him small messages. But Mike was avoiding her. He said it was trouble. He leaned closer, his voice dropping. Then one day, she entered his bedroom when Elsie was not around. She was naked. That was how it started. She pursued him heavily. She told him that Elsie did not deserve him. John paused and looked at me. But we both knew the real reason she wanted Mike. Money. My eyes widened. Money. Yes, John nodded. She was tired of living under her sister's shadow. She felt Elsie had everything. The big house, the successful husband. Miriam wanted Mike to give her money to rent her own place and start a business. She wanted her own life. Hey, to say I was shocked is a big understatement. In the video, I asked, still holding the phone. John looked down. Mike, he recorded their sessions sometimes. He showed them to me. I know it sounds bad, but please don't think bad of me. I would never do anything like that to you. And for what it is worth, Elsie knew he recorded their own private moments. So, I sat back, the weight of the truth finally settling on me. I looked at John. Send the video to me. He hesitated. Hey, are you sure? Please, John, I need it. He finally agreed and sent the video to my phone. As soon as I got the file, I rushed home. My heart was beating like a drum. I didn't have a plan, but I knew I had the truth in my hands. I went to my neighbor and begged to use her phone for one quick call. I dialed Miriam's number. She picked up. Hello, she said. It is me, I said, my voice calm but cold. Immediately, she let out a small chuckle. I heard a sound like she was about to hang up. I have the sex tape, I said quickly. Silence. Complete silence on the other end. Unblock me on WhatsApp now, or else. I didn't even finish the threads. I just hung up. Less than a minute later, my phone vibrated. Hi, a message from Miriam. She had unblocked me. What do you mean? What sex tape? I didn't type a single word. I just opened the video, took a screenshot that clearly showed her face, and sent it to her. For about 30 seconds, there was no reply. Then my phone screen lit up. She was calling me. I picked up. I can explain, she blurted out, her voice panicked and shaky. I don't know what came over me. He seduced me. How did you get that video? Let's meet and talk. Please, please don't show it to Elsie. I am sorry for everything. Please delete the video. I felt a cold anger settle in my stomach. Why? I asked, my voice quiet. Why did you treat me like trash when you knew I was innocent? You watched me suffer. I was scared, she cried. I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do. Please forgive me. Elsie will never forgive me if she finds out. It will ruin our relationship forever. Please don't tell her. Please remember everything I have done for you. All the years we have been through. I'm sorry. She was still begging, words stumbling over each other. But I had heard enough. I cut the call. Immediately, my phone started ringing again and again and again. She sent me message after message on WhatsApp. Please pick up. I am begging you. Delete it, please. Forgive me. She has even come to my house several times, knocking on the door. But I have refused to see her. I just sit inside, listening to her beg. And I remember the look of disappointment on her face when she told me to leave the funeral. I remember her calling me a user. I will not lie to you. My heart is heavy as I type this. Miriam has been there for me in ways I can never fully explain. When I had nothing, she was my something. When I had no one, she was my person. She borrowed me money without pressure. She gave me a shoulder to cry on more times than I can count. The history we have is long and deep, from small girls to grown women. But she also broke my heart into 1,000 pieces. She knew I was completely innocent. Yet she stood there and watched as her sister called me a prostitute, a homewrecker, and a case. She saw me get slapped and thrown out. She saw me lose everything, my reputation, my dignity, and she said nothing. She even joined in pushing me away. She let me carry her shame. I still have the video. I look at it sometimes and I still cannot believe it. I need to clear my name. Everyone who knows us still thinks I am this wicked woman who slept with her benefactor's husband. My name is already destroyed. I need to redeem myself. I need to walk with my head held high again. But I also know that if I show this video to Elsie, it will break her heart into even smaller pieces. She lost her husband. To now find out it was her own sister, it will destroy their relationship forever. There will be no going back. So I am asking you, will I be the asshole if I show the video to Elsie, even after all of Miriam's begging and crying, after all the history and good things she did for me in the past? Should I show Elsie the truth and clear my name, even if it means destroying their family? Please advise me. What should I do? Oh, Miriam. You know what? Let me leave this one for you. What do you think she should do? Should she show the video to Elsie and clear her name? Or should she help Miriam out and delete the video? What do you think she should do? Leave your thoughts down below. And now, Abi, you know that this is a judgment-free zone. We listen, we don't judge. So please be kind to her in the comment section. And if you've not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for, babe? Come and join the family. Please subscribe and like this video. And don't forget to turn on the notifications so that when I post, you'll be notified immediately. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Okay, I'm done. Bye.